So a friend called me up and said, "Hey Dave, my bathroom flooded because I tried to push the pipe from the toilet behind the wall and it just completely snapped off." And yep, it is exactly how he described. So fortunately, he was able to find the water, but there was still a significant amount of water behind the wall and under the floor. And the valve didn't really hold all the way, so it was basically leaking the entire time that I was working. Now, this was kind of an after hours thing, and I did not have everything that I needed to complete this job. So I had to run over to Home Depot and grab a couple things out of the plumbing aisle, including some CPVC, some fittings. And you see, this PVC pipe or this CPVC pipe was so brittle, it could not be cut with a regular tubing cutter. The new pipe was fine to cut with the tubing cutter, but the old one, I ended up having to get a little tiny saw to get back inside of there to cut it out because it just kept snapping on me. Now with these fittings here, it is helpful if you can glue both sides of the connection so you make sure you get a nice seal on them. And this is an all-in-one like cement, so there's no priming or anything. You just glue and push together and you are good to go. It's not my specialty. I don't work on a ton of this stuff, but it is easy enough to put together, just like any old PVC pipe. And I tried to do most of it here outside, so I didn't have to work as much behind the wall. It was so tight back there, it was really hard to film putting that thing in. But for the flooring situation, anytime you have water, you're gonna have the risk of like mold and mildew, and you wanna get it dried up as soon as possible. Now this fan right here is super cool because it's got a ton of positions. Now Alloy Air did send this out to me and sponsor this video, so thank you so much to them. Look at the wheels on this thing. So you can blow down directly against the hardwood to help dry it out, which is the main thing. Drywall can be replaced really easily, but getting the floor dried out is super important. Dehumidifier is going to help to suck that moisture out of the air while the fan is blowing it around the room. Comes with a really long drain hose, more than what I would probably ever need. That's great. You never know. Sometimes you have a leak in a place that's not close to a drain and you could run that hose over. It's got a little quick to connect here so you can disconnect it when you're done and wrap it. I like that. That way you can drain it out so the hose itself doesn't get moldy. And I'm just going to put it in the sink here. This thing has a bunch of different settings. You can change from Fahrenheit to Celsius, see the coil temperature, and you can also set the humidification level. So if you want it really low and dry it out, you can do that. And you can also plug these in a couple different configurations here. 1 dehumidifier and 3 fans, crazy on one circuit. So they really don't draw that much amperage, which is nice. I would have liked to get this fan pointing directly at the ground, but with the space there, I could only just point it like this, which is fine. It ended up working out great. I'll show you the results from drying it up with the moisture meter. If you have a leak in your home, you can pick these up for basically the same cost as renting them. You buy this thing, and with one leak, you've basically paid for itself because renting these things is not very efficient. So I got the other piece glued on there, and I went ahead and turned on the water, no leaks. Ended up having a shark bite valve to put on the end there, which worked out fine. And you can see here, the moisture meter is reading the next day that it is completely dry back there, both the drywall and the wood. Hope you learned something. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you're looking for a good fan or dehumidifier, be sure to check the link in the video.